Me. Time is it? No. All right. I think we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I haven't been live on my own Facebook in a while. I have Miss Suzi Tobias with me here, and she's with RCA Nutrition. And Suzi and her husband, Rich, have literally, well, I'm going to say like saved my life, because that's not really excessive to say that. But we really, I was in a really bad place. And I know a lot of you guys have seen that. And a lot of you have been asking me, how do I get in touch with Suzi? What does this look like? And so I wanted to bring her live today because she does have a new program that is starting on January 10th. And that new program is like a really good way to get introduced to Suzi and Rich and get your body going in the right direction, start to understand things a little more because there's a ton of education in there. And so the goal today is explain what that is, explain kind of, once you get in there, what you get, what it entails, all those fun things, and then kind of take this from there. We'll talk to Suzi about what happens if you're a good person and you go in, you lose weight, and what are the next steps with her, or if you're like me and you go into a program and you're a problem child and you got some stuff that you got to deal with. So we'll talk about both of those because I know that I get all those questions all the time. So Suzi, welcome.
Thank you so much I think, you need to do live with Lindsay all the time. I mean, it has a ring to it, and you're just that awesome that you should go live more. I'm just saying.
You're hilarious. All right. Well, listen, so I know that we're also going to have questions. So put your questions in the Facebook Live. I'm going to be watching that, guys. And so let me know what you have question wise, and we'll get to as many as we can within the hour here. So Suze, January 10th, it's this program that I think you've done it now 3 times?
4 or 5. Every January we run a program. It's down. People look at it and they're like, "Oh, it's a group program." It's not a group program. Just let me start. But it is, but it isn't. Okay, meaning this: it's very individualized towards you specifically. It's not like a blanket thing where we're going to say, "Oh, everyone's going to eat all the same things and you guys are going to be fine." No. Life doesn't work that way. You don't work that way. Okay, this is all bio-individual nutrition, meaning everything is specific towards you and your needs. Okay, so we look at what's going on with your health history. We look at what's going on with your symptoms. We have you fill out symptom forms to see what exactly we should be doing to tailor the food specifically for you to get the maximum results that you want. So when you eat foods that are not right for your body inflames. Okay, so it causes inflammation. So if your weight jumps a pound or more within 24 hours, you're having a reaction to a food. So we're going to guide you through the process of figuring out what foods are right for you, what foods are wrong for you, what foods inflame you, what ones don't, and take the inflammation down. The first week we do a detox week where we're going to pull out all inflammatory foods, and we're going to focus on detoxifying your liver. Over 500 metabolic functions, okay? The thing sees everything. So if it's not working right, your hormones aren't working right, thyroid ain't working right, nothing's working right. So that's the first stage of it. And then the following week, we add foods in, and we're very specific as far as what we bring in and how we bring things in to see if you have gut issues or not. Because, for instance, if you have gut issues, a lot of times, like if you have a lot of bacteria in your small intestine, you'll react to FODMAP foods, fermentable, oligosaccharide, FOD, disaccharide, monosaccharide, polyols, FODMAPs. Been a while since I've talked about that. Anyway, these are foods basically that ferment in your gut and make you be bloated. Okay, so broccoli, Brussels sprouts, onions, garlic, all the things where you eat and your stomach's like, I hate you much. This is a good indication that something's not right. So we tailor everything to get to different points so you can identify it yourself. And we make this so interactive with so much education that you literally walk out of this and you know what to do, how to do it, and all the things. And there's a lot of success with that within the program.
Now, they have to watch videos, right?
Yes. There's
actual happens there.
So there's an actual program, okay, that you would actually log into where there's courseware, where you go through the courseware, and there's so much education, ain't gonna lie, where you're gonna learn all the things, what to look for, all the different sheets and forms. And actually we've clean things up even better than before. We did a program in September, and man, this one's even better because we have everything Lindsay, it's all in one place. Lindsay, you've asked for it for how long? It's all in one place.
I know, I love it. I need things in one place. That's like my biggest thing.
Yes, so everything's in one place now, and so it's super awesome though, because you go through the courseware, but we also, when I say that it's a group thing, we have a group Facebook page. Now, in that group Facebook page, we have coaches come in during the week. We have people asking all the questions. You do check-ins in there every day, so you let us know where your weight is, if you've gained weight, if you've lost weight, and then we troubleshoot for you. So you can email my team. We got 3 nutritionists on standby, right there, that you can ask questions and you can actually work through things. So you're getting one-on-one coaching through this whole thing, which not a lot of people do. And so it's such a fantastic way. And also the camaraderie of the group. So the last group we ran in September, those ladies, we were going to shut the group completely off and turn everything off, but they keep popping in every once in a while being, I miss you guys. How are you guys? And just there's a bond that happens, when you're going through the same thing together. It's such a phenomenal thing.
Yeah. Well, okay. So they get all of that and it's 4 weeks. So I don't know if we actually said it's a 4-week program. It is bio individual. So yes, you're going to get some food lists. Yes, you're going to start with a detox, but if you're like Lindsay, you start with a detox and then all of a sudden some things go wrong, right? So like, tell us really quickly, what are a few things that could be like, oh, this is a problem. And then some of that individual stuff kicks in a little bit.
Okay, no poo. We're going to start right now. Like, no poo. Like if you are eating, so let's just talk about poop for a second, okay? Normal amount of poo that should come out of somebody daily, wrist to elbow, yo. Wrist to elbow. And right now, all of you just went, oh, what? Oh yeah, and it shouldn't look like pellets, people. No, long sausage, okay? Wrist to elbow. If you are not getting that, I guarantee you're eating foods you're sensitive to, and your gut has a lot of extra bacteria in it, and you probably got some gut issues. Now, so that's one of the things that we look at right away. If somebody's not pooping, red flag. You're reacting to a food, and we got to figure that out right away and get things moving. So that would be one of the things that we stop. Or same thing if the weight is jumping. So there's a couple of things that we've actually implemented also to make things easier. And that's the ALCAT. We brought in the ALCAT this last September as an option for everybody. And the ALCAT it's a different food sensitivity test. So it's an option. It's separate from buying the course. If you wanted to buy this, you could buy this separately. And I tell you what, it's the best thing on the planet when it comes to everything. So you have all these different food sensitivity tests out there. You've got Vibrant, you've got Everly, you've got all the things, okay? And basically they test for IgG and IgA. Okay, now what's that, Suzi? And they don't test for IgE. IgE, that's my E. Emergency. Okay, that's a food allergy. Okay, they don't test for that. We don't even
like the EpiPen.
Yep, that's like stick me now, going down. Okay, so IgG and IgA, we're looking more at antibodies. So antibodies can be developed in your body from when you were a baby. Like you ate something and your system was like, at that time, it could be at any time, your system was like, nope. And food sensitivities change all the time. So just because you had developed an antibody to something back in 1912 doesn't mean that you have it right now. So right. When those results from those other companies, they're doing antibody testing. And so there's a lot of people that remove a lot of foods they don't need to remove at all. Some of them are true to form. There are some people that just are sensitive just to certain things. And there's also seasonal sensitivities. I'll get into that later. But when it comes to the ALCAT, it's different because it takes like, 7 vials of blood or something like this. And they test over, like I have the people do the full panel. So basically you get 350 things it tests for and test live blood over 28 hours to see how your white blood cells are responding to it. Are your white blood cells, which is your body's innate immune system, okay, which is your first line of defense. Remember how I talked about inflammation? If you inflame from something, well, that's your body's first line of defense. Same thing, you hurt your arm, you sprain it, it does what? It inflames, it swells up. So same thing with you're eating something your body's sensitive to, it's going to go to protect. Your innate immune system is going to fire on, and those things will activate. So it shows activation, and it'll show activation of none at all, or yellow, which is like a mild, like thinking about it, maybe a little bit, and then moderate, and then severe. And you've got these different categories of foods that you should avoid for certain periods of time. One area you can play with, and in the green area, you can kind of, you can run with, but you want to run with caution, because it doesn't, two things. One, it doesn't show the scale. So say there's a scale of 1 to 15. 1 meaning I could eat this until the cows come home. I could live off of this food, and I could lose weight and nothing happens. Or say it's coconut, and coconut's a 12 for you, and you ate coconut 3 times that day, and all of a sudden your weight bumped up like half a pound, or it didn't move. And you're like, wait, I should be okay with this. Why is it not doing what it's supposed to do? Well, you ate too much, and it kind of kicked it up and over. The other thing it doesn't test for is histamines and salicylates. And those are different types of issues that your body has when your body has issues. Okay, so that's the thing that we look at when we take in the intake forms and we look at your symptoms. If I see a lot of symptoms and for salicylates or for histamines, I'm going to flag those for you. And we're going to say you're going to avoid these as we're going through the program. So you're having good success, and we can test drive them. But if you need additional help afterwards, we're going to come back around the backside to figure out your root cause. What's causing your body to be sensitive to these certain things, because it shouldn't be.
Right. Okay. And so, yeah, so that's the biggest thing with Bio Individual, you guys, is that Suzi, and Rich and her team, when you turn in logs, which, by the way, you can't be like Lindsay, but I used to be very good with logs, for the record. However, I've been really bad lately. During this program, you have to turn in a log every day, because they don't know what's going on with you if you don't turn it in. And so, I've seen people that are like, I don't know what's happening, right? Because I'm in the groups all the time. And then it's like, well, we don't have a log. Can you turn in the log so we can see it? And then it's like, okay, now it's an issue, right? But they're keeping the logs, I think, in the background, and they turn it in if there becomes a problem. But they still have to keep it. Like, they have to write it down. They've got to have it so that if there's an issue, we can deal with it, right?
Yes. And I think the worst problem, I think, is when people hold the logs for like 7 days, don't say anything for 7 days, haven't lost any weight in 7 days, and haven't pooed in 7 days. And we literally get the email and we do this. Oh, because that's just, no. We want success every day for people. And so we want that daily contact, and especially if you're having problems, and especially if you're not pooping, because you can become septic. And that's dangerous. Okay. Not pooing, your body holds onto toxins, especially when you're going through a detox. Your liver is expelling those toxins out of your liver to get out of your system. And if you're not eliminating, you ain't gonna feel good. So,
right. Yeah. So, okay. So they get the 7-day detox. We're going to look at logs if there seems to be an issue. We talked about poo a lot already. There needs to be weight loss involved, right? When we see the weight go up, then that's another indication of an issue. So we talked about that. They're going to get nutritional education on foods, food intolerance, histamines, oxalates, salicylates. I can actually say all these things now. I never used to be able to. FODMAPs and intermittent fasting. You're going to be able to understand how to clear inflammatory reactions. So we kind of talked about that. Learning about your immune system and how that works. But one of the coolest things that I think is in here is, strategies that you might be familiar with like a GPS, which is goals, priorities, and strategies to hit your weight goals, right? And they're going to talk through, guys, like, what are we doing daily, weekly, monthly, and annually in order to hit our goals? And they're going to try to help you do that. Because at the end of the day, weight loss is truly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Suzi, although I know you'll agree, is a change in your life, right? It is not like I'm going to go lose 20 pounds because I did these things and I'm going to go back to eating hoagies every day. That's not how it works, you guys. Like, this is a lifestyle change. And so there's a lot of education around that, right?
No, it's the truth. And in piggybacking on the lifestyle change, not just food change, okay, really comes down to putting different systems in your life to make sure you're successful. The biggest problem I see across the board now, I talk about it till I'm blue in the face, especially when it comes to realtors. Y'all run with your hair on fire, like hair on fire, don't know what's coming next. You get up late, you're running out the door. You don't, I mean, there's this constant movement. Okay. And you're super, super busy and you take care of everybody else, but you don't take care of yourself. Okay. You put yourself on the back burner. You come last. And the bottom line is this: if you're going to make lifestyle changes, you have to draw a line in the sand to make yourself first. And and it sounds selfish, and it is, but guess what? If you can't give your best to everyone else and you're not at your best, because you're not, what does that show? Like, I want to be able to give my God, my husband, my kids, my ministry, my business, all the things, my best. If I'm not doing my best at taking care of me, then I failed. I failed them, because guess what they're getting? They're getting cranky Suzi. They're getting tired Suzi. They're getting Suzi who just kind of showing up, and not being able to perform the way that I know that I can. So it's about a lifestyle change and putting systems in your life to make sure that you're doing things to fill your tank, making sure that you're meal prepping, that if you're taking supplements, you have a timer set that it goes off. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways and different things that you can do to make changes in your life, but it comes down to really prioritizing you. And I think it's super hard, especially for women, because we have that motherly instinct of, we feel guilty for, oh, I'm taking away from someone else by taking care of myself. And I'll never forget Amanda Purnell. Amanda Purnell, I'm like, you need Epsom salt baths. I mean, I'll never forget when I first told her that. And she was like, I don't have time. I have no time. I have no time for anything else. I have no time for anything else. She started implementing all sorts of different things into her life. And she was like, I have more time now than I used to have. Why is that? And I was like, let me tell you why. Because mentally, emotionally, and physically, you can handle things at a different level now. Okay. Yeah. You now are at a better place because you can tackle things. It's not so stressing. It's not so overwhelming. It's not so much of everything coming at you. Now you come out of these things and you're like, yep, go. Instead of, what? Oh, yeah. It's just a whole different game. I same thing with me yesterday. I was having a day yesterday. I was peopled out, and I knew, I'm like, I swim break. I have a non-negotiable. I got a lot of non-negotiables in my life. And one of my non-negotiables is I take my lunch break. I will be doing hot yoga, or I'll be in the pool, period. You'll find me there 7 days a week. Okay. Don't bother me. And I was just in a mood. I was like, I know no more problems, people, no more problems. I got out of the pool, $1 million, man. I could tackle anything. I came back in the best mood. My people were there. I walked in and I was like, bring on your stuff, people. Come on now. I'm ready for you again. And that's, you got to carve in time for you.
Yeah. So you're going to talk about that. This is another cool thing that I love. That's one of the things I haven't even tackled yet. But access to Dr. Drain for telemedicine and hormone consults if needed. And so just walk us through. So like in this program, first of all, they're paying $349, I think.
You know me. But just so y'all, I don't handle any of the business stuff. So people ask me all the time, what's this cost? I'm all,
I'm getting that now. I have it. But so I'm gonna get the link to sign up for the program too, you guys, and I'll put it in here because I know a lot of you guys are watching here. But the fact that they get access to Dr. Drain if needed. So again, not everybody needs this, right? Some people come in and just, they're fine, they lose weight, they're pooing, their life is good, and they're going, right? There are people that come in and they're not losing weight and they're not eliminating. There's all these things that are happening, and hormones might be one of the things. And so they would get an actual consult with Dr. Drain if we feel like they need it, right?
So I'm super blessed as far as like, I can order labs for people. I can do all the things, but I also have 2 doctors on my team, and one of them specializes in hormones, and he takes care of all my people, telemed, man, across the country. So if you have, and I see this a lot, especially like with thyroid and especially with female hormones, where doctors are like, oh, you're fine. And they don't really check all the numbers, or they don't do the right labs or anything else. And you're not okay. You're not, something is not right, but everything's fine. But they just did a TSH and that's it. And that doesn't tell you anything when it comes to your thyroid. Doesn't give you any kind of a big picture. We could run labs and everything else. And if you actually needed medication, that's where you can have a consult with Brian. And the cool thing about Brian is he saved my life, and he's been part of my team forever, but he literally saved my life. Like my thyroid shut down on me. Mold toxicity, woo woo, we're fun, right? Good times. Military housing, totally different story. But like my thyroid and my genes went psycho, and hematoma, not a good thing to have. Everything went crazy on me at one time, and I literally couldn't get off the floor. I mean, I'd stand up and have heart palpitations. I had no energy. And when I first met Dr. Drain, I remember walking in, I ran all my labs. I walked in and I was like, give me drugs. And it was the funniest thing ever. He goes, he says, oh, honey, normally I would look at this and I would tell somebody, let's first start supporting your system with the right supplements. And he goes, you don't have anything to support. Like, you've got nothing. And within an hour, like within 1 hour. So we have also a hormone pharmacist that we work with too, who literally dosed my thyroid medication based off of my numbers. Didn't start out with, let's just start you out with a little baby microgram of, 15 and 240 milligrams of Armour thyroid. It was gone. My thyroid just completely destroyed. They literally had it in me within an hour, and I was a normal person within a week. Now, had I seen any other normal doctor, that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have. First of all, they would have ran my TSH, which was fine, by the way. My TSH was totally fine. My T3 and my T4 were almost non-existent. So it's not even an accurate, you have to run a full panel. And so anyway, Brian, his just graciously, we became best friends, we became partners, and like he handles, we play together all day. And it's great because not just with thyroids, but especially with hormones. I mean, those of you who are in menopause or going into menopause, or not even in menopause, like I see one of the big red flags for me for like mold toxicity. If you're young and your hormones are jacked, I'm always red flag. Like if you haven't even hit menopause and your hormones are all over the place, it's one of the first things I'll be like, we need to test a mycotoxin test, because mycotoxins attack the hormones like that. So, so many things.
Suze, along this line, Rory just asked a question, which I think is great. So he said, if you've done an IgG and hormone checks in the past and are still having issues with bloating and weight gain, would Suzi still want to repeat all of those things?
I would probably run different tests. If you're still having bloating and everything else, I would probably look into a SIBO test. I'd look at your symptoms and see, and your history to see what's going on, just because there's more going on here,
So more going on there. So yes, maybe, but she might look at all the, past labs too. So that's okay. So they're also going to get meal plans and recipes, which is fabulous as long as you actually pull them off the site and use them. But they're going to get these things, right? And that I would imagine in the group, you guys, that's worth $349 itself, in my opinion. Just being able to get that, the discounted labs, access to Dr. Drain if we need it, and then the fact that somebody's going to be looking at you, watching things, and you're going to get all of the videos too, with all of the content that teaches you about what a FODMAP is and salicylates and what the sensitivities are, what the, possible reactions are to be looking for, to know if you need to pull some of that stuff. And then you're going to keep track every single week on how you're doing and where your weight is, right? They have a weekly check-in where they say that, or daily check-in rather, that says, this is where I'm at. And they're watching you guys daily, and then a weekly Zoom where they can get on and actually ask you live questions.
Yep. Yes. It's so fun too. I'm not gonna lie. I love being able to help people, because especially there's just so much misinformation out there. I mean, there's so much of people have no idea what to start or what to do or why their body's doing what it is, and it's this or it's that. And there's a lot of things that calories in, calories out. It's all about that. No. So there's a lot of things within that. People think that they can, cheat the system, and I just won't eat very much. And I see this all the time. I have people come to me who they barely eat and they can't lose. And let me tell you why. All right. So God designed us in this great way. It's called survive. All right. Cortisol is your fight or flight hormone. It's your survival hormone. When your body goes underneath stress, cortisol levels elevate. Now, it could be stress from work. It can be stress from exercise. It can be stress from your life. It could be stress from not eating enough food. All right. So when you put yourself in caloric debt over X amount of time, now it can be okay maybe for a couple of days, but it'll get to a point where all of a sudden the weight will completely stall out. Things will not go well because your body it's a survival mechanism. God made us to design to survive. So you will store fat. That's right. The thing you're trying to lose, you will store to survive. Not something anybody wants. So making sure you're getting enough calories in and just educating you on that. It's funny. I have a lot of people, and then I eat healthy, Susie. I'm going to eat this. I have fought with people over this. Like, I just sit back and I let them, okay. And I know that specific food, I see the symptoms. I know what's wrong with you. That specific food ain't gonna work for you. And I know that. And then they come back so mad. I gained 2 pounds and I ate eggplant. And I was like, but it's healthy. Well, why, Susie? Why? And I'm like, well, you got an issue with histamines, and eggplant is high histamine. And I kind of talked to you about that, but no, I don't. And then it's really reprogramming the mind, because everybody tells you if it's a healthy food, you should be fine, right? But no, if you have gut issues with oxalates and you eat spinach, it's like poison to your body. I've seen people gain 10 pounds overnight from eating spinach. 10 pounds. Oh yeah. And I've also seen people lose weight with cake. Just spreading, you know what I mean? It just depends on your body and what your body's okay with and not okay with. So, yeah. and your gut. I mean, honestly, it all comes down to your gut.
All right, Sue. So, on the plan, I have this question. Can we exercise while on the plan?
Yeah.
Detox week, can they exercise during detox week too?
Yeah.
Right? Because when I get the toxins out, and one of the best ways is to sweat.
Sweating, yes.
All right. So yes, you can, Jill. That is a great question. Continue to ask more. So let's talk about, they come in, they're losing weight, they're doing well, they're in the 4-week program, and there's no issues. They're not like, they don't have salicylate, issues or oxalate issues or whatever, right? Because there are people that come in and they're fine. And so they get to graduation day. And what are the next steps if they want to keep losing? Like, what can they do with you? What does that look like?
Well, the next steps for them, I mean, if you're done with the program, you basically are going to implement all the things that you learned. If you want to continue to lose weight, there's certain tricks and trades, certain things you can do. Intermittent fasting, and the way you do it is the knowledge that we give you within the program is priceless. There's things like that, but there's also, maybe you need to do another week of detox to kick your system in because you went a little rogue some days and everything else. So those people, I mean, they leave with a lot of knowledge. Let me tell you what you won't find in the program though. And a lot of people like to test drive things after the program. I will not anywhere in this program ask you to eat gluten or dairy or soy. It will not happen. Okay. Just telling you. Those are 3 of the top inflammatory foods. I will not ask you to eat those. If you want to test drive those, then you test drive them outside world. At the end of the program, we have you testing salicylates and histamines to make sure that you don't have a problem with them, or if we cleared them, those kinds of things we'll test within the program. But those other guys, and let me just here's your gluten story for the day. All right. Just because you don't have celiac disease or you're not gluten sensitive doesn't mean that gluten doesn't affect your body. Okay. Here's your truth bomb for today. So your gut. Hello, gut. Okay. It is held together by tight junctions. All right. Now, when zonulin levels, it's a protein in the body, elevate, it opens up the tight junctions of the gut a wee little tiny bit, and allows nutrients to pass from the gut into the bloodstream. All right. So it opens up a little bit, and then here comes vitamin B, high B12, high B6, high magnesium. It enters in the bloodstream. This is how we get our nutrients in the bloodstream. Okay. Gluten has scientifically been proven to spike and elevate levels of zonulin. And when that happens, the gut junctions open up really big. And now food particles pass in. Okay, now when your gut becomes permeable, because also your digestive tract does not break down gluten well, it becomes leaky and meshy. Food particles pass in, and now all of a sudden your bloodstream's all chicken. What you doing in here? Like pizza. Whoa, 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 whoa. And remember, I talked about inflammatory responses. Now things going into the bloodstream that don't belong there. This is where we develop food sensitivities, and this is where your immune system says, hold the phone. And your body inflames, and your immune system starts attacking and develop antibodies for this. Now, every single time things come back in, we're now hitting it again. Your immune system's activating. It's activating. It's activating. This is bad juju, because this inflammation leads to autoimmune, and the inflammation in your body can lead to cancers. The inflammation is like the bad thing. And so when you're continually opening up your gut, or you're continually eating foods you're sensitive to, you're putting a world of hurt on your body and not even realizing it. So whether I'm not celiac, I don't have a problem with gluten, you do have a problem with gluten. You just don't know that.
And I'm going to circle back to something that you're saying there, because I love you when you say, I'm never going to tell you to eat dairy. I'm never going to tell you to eat gluten, because those things do make a lot of us sick, you guys. I'm sorry. And listen, Suzi will point at me and go, if Lindsay can give up dairy and gluten for years, anybody can. Truly. That is not like, I am not, I think some people look at me and they're like, oh, you got businesses and you got all these things and you're doing all this stuff. It was a really huge challenge for me, because those things make me feel better, you guys. Like, when I eat that stuff, I feel better than if I go eat eggplant or carrots or things, right? And that was a huge thing for me to like get over. And that was a big aha, and why I went and gravitated towards those things, because I might have some reflux a little bit, like less than normal if I eat like bad other things. But like I felt like my body didn't hurt a ton, and that's a weird thing, right? And so that's partially why, like, I was somebody who used to go do all these different fad diets, right? And I gained weight in all of them. Like, I would do juice cleanses and gain weight, you guys, like, and I couldn't understand why that was happening, right? Tried keto a lot, loved it because of all the dairy. I was like, oh, if I can put cheese and like sour cream on everything, I'm great. That's disgusting. And that's like what I thought. And it made me really sick. And so, being able to learn what my body does well with and doesn't, but then to heal my gut and to start to heal my body is what the journey that I ended up on after like doing a detox week and all those things, right? And so we are going to have Suzi talk about that too, because there are some of you guys who will go into this and you don't feel good ever, and you're exhausted all the time, and you're overweight because of it. And you know that every time you put food in your body, something's happening, and you start to realize it's food, right? And it's food related. And so if you do come into this, you're going to learn a ton about your body, and your body's probably going to hurt like mine did in the beginning. But Suzi, like, what's the course after that happens? Like, what is it like? What is available to them after that happens, when we start to see them go down a path that I did?
So it's interesting, because Lindsay's one of those people that you eat a vegetable and it's going to hurt you. Like, and that's the truth. Some people have really bad issues with oxalates or salicylates, and there's underlying reasons for that. And so when people tell me, right, I'll have people write in their intake forms all the time, I feel awful when I eat vegetables. That's just right then and there. I'm like, okay, red flag, know what's going on here. But for you people, yes, you have just all of that. You have us available for 4 weeks to literally work with you one-on-one through this process. But also we have, like, if you need more help, if there's underlying causes and gut issues and everything else, we'll have you fill out intake forms to get on our list to pick up one-on-one, right from there. Some people I've literally stopped. Actually, in this last September program, I literally stopped one person in the first week, and I was just like, I don't ever do this. I'm taking you right now. Like I'm booked out for 3 months. I don't do this. I'm like, I am not handing you to anybody else. I'm not going to let you stay in this 4-week program. I have to take you right now because her health, it turns out she's got mold. She's got all the, I mean, we found out all the problems and everything else, but she was everything. I mean, she was vomiting. I mean, it was awful. And so when I see something that bad, I'm just going to pluck you right out. But like I said, we have people available, my team, through the whole process. And then past that, you know, we go to one-on-one.
One-on-one coaching. Yeah. And so that is also like a really weird thing for some people to grasp, I think. Like, okay, so I'm going to go do a detox and I'm going to eat vegetables and proteins and things that my body should be real excited about. And I'm going to feel bad. Why does that happen, Suzi? Like with some of us, like what is that? Like,
and
you would think we'd feel so good, you know?
Okay, in detox week, okay, I want you to think about this. Your liver is the hub of everything. It sees everything. Any medication, any food, any drink, any smell, anything in the environment, anything that comes into your body has to be processed through your liver, all right? Your liver will get sluggish. It will get so many toxins will build up inside of your liver. So when we focus and target foods that detoxify that liver, that liver has to expel the toxins. And this is what will happen is some people will feel totally fine. And then some people, oh my gosh, like after day 1, Suzi, I'm sick. I have the flu. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, you don't have the flu. No, I need medicine. And I'm like, no, you need activated charcoal. You need something to pull toxins out of you. My head, and I'm like, I'm take this and take the charcoal. And I literally get a phone call like an hour later. Girl, what'd you give me? I feel so much better now. And it's crazy. The first time I detoxed, I had a race dumbest thing I ever did. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I was a disaster. Had a race that weekend. It was like a Monday. My joints hurt so bad I had to wear my compression running tights to bed at night to sleep because what'll happen is toxins to spare your organs, okay, toxins will settle into your tissues, into your joints. All right. I love the way God designed it. It's all about survival, man. And I mean, Epsom salt bath at 3 a.m. I'm in there in my running tights. My husband's like, what is happening here? I'm like, I'm going to die and die. I remember 2 days into it, I was dizzy and I was like, I have to pull chocks until after this race. And then I'll redo this again, which I did. And I was fine, but not everybody is affected this way. So you have to understand that not everybody is going to get throat punched, but some people do, but there's ways to get around it. Epsom salt baths, sweating, toxins come out of your system through your urine, your stool, and your skin. And so making sure that you're, drinking lots of water and making sure that you're pooping. And that's the thing. I'll have people not feel well because they're not pooping. And that can just be on the normal, not even during detox. You just might not feel good because, well, you're just not pooping well. And it's funny, I'll have one of my people just won't feel good and then they'll have like a really good poo and they'll be like, oh man, I feel so much better today now. And I'm like, because it all came out. Okay, and we're good.
Right. Oh, yeah. All right. So $349, I did confirm the price. And there is a place to sign up. I did a fun poll. So if you're still watching, you can put your answer in there. I asked why we're watching. We've got, to get help to move towards a healthy lifestyle. And I'm sick all the time. And I know that food matters in my health journey, which is great. Those are the 2 biggest ones that have been voted on so far. To lose weight actually isn't one there, but I do want to go to this because most people come into this program to lose weight, but find out that there's a lot of other things like SIBO, which is the small intestine bacteria overgrowth, which is actually something that I feel like the medical community is really starting to talk a lot about finally.
Yes.
But they find out that their body has been in this weird place. And so I would say all the time, and I want to hear what your answer is. I would say it to you all the time. Well, okay. So back when I would eat and I was fat, and inflamed, I didn't feel all of the horribleness, but now that I've lost weight and now that I eat something, I feel it more, right? My throat does these weird things, all these things. why, when we're inflamed, do we not feel things? And then the moment we're not, we're feeling things.
So when you're in a state of chronic inflammation, okay, your body gets used to it. I mean, that's your norm, all right? And I hear this all the time. I'll take somebody through a week of detox and we'll pull out all the things and then they'll eat that one thing and they literally be like, you broke me. It will throat punch them. Like they'll be like, what happened? I mean, like they gained 3 pounds, they feel miserable and they're like, what happened? Well, you've given a clear pathway now. Your system will identify that and it will show up strong and it will show you've got problems. Now, going back to what you were saying about how, people come in and that's the thing. Most people, that's their pain point. Your pain point is how you look, it's the weight. The weight is usually the pain point. People don't normally reach out unless they've heard of me and they know that I'm a SIBO practitioner and I specialize in all these different things. Friends will refer them, but for the most part, the pain point is people are coming to me because they want to lose weight. That is it. And what they realize by working with me, there's a reason behind why you're not losing weight. There's something not right. There's a root cause. There's something underlying that's making your body do what it's doing. And, whether it's, SIBO is probably one of the biggest things that we do see, that and Candida. It's fungal overgrowth or bacterial overgrowth because of the way that you've been eating and the way that your lifestyle has been, or you're just the way your digestion works, because that's the other thing. A lot of there's so many digestive issues based off of what you're putting in your body and how. So for instance, okay, well, let's talk about it, Linz. Stomach acid. Okay, I was that person who was on proton pump inhibitors 40 milligrams twice a day. Okay, because my doctor said you have the worst. You have acid reflux. And it's so bad, Suzi. Protonics twice. Heavy hitters twice a day. Okay, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I like this. You need to figure out what's causing this. And he was like, all right, let's run some tests. And sure enough, we talked about there's a surgery that he does. Rarely, never, because nobody's really a candidate for it. And I'm like, am I a candidate? And he was like, you're a candidate. I was like, I like you. Anyway, did an endoscopy on me. They tested my pH balance, the whole 9 yards. Basically, the surgeon called me the next day. Like the valve was open for so you have your esophagus that goes down, okay, into your stomach. And there's a thing called the LES, which is the lower esophageal sphincter. Okay. Now this thing has a valve on it. It opens and shuts and allows food to come in. All right. Now mine was floppy, just didn't even work. It was open all the time. Sucker just it hated me. And on top of it, I had a hiatal hernia. Hiatal hernia is where a portion of your stomach will get stuck up into your diaphragm. Okay. Now when that happens though, your valve won't even shut. If it's shoved up in there, even if it's not a floppy broken thing, it won't even shut. So I had a free for all. I'm run, bike, swim. I'd be swimming and I mean, literally food coming up my throat. I'm on a vomit and I'm like, this is the worst. And so surgery for me, they went in and fixed the hiatal hernia. They took the top portion of my stomach, wrapped it around my esophagus to tighten my valve down. Now, in the midst of all of this, he told me you probably still have acid reflux afterwards, because most people do. Okay. And you're going to need to stay on your medication. And I was like, no. Okay. So medications, these medications lower your stomach acid. Okay. As you get older and as you age, progressively, your body makes less hydrochloric acid, which is the acid that's in your stomach. Okay. I was one of those people who literally had no acid in my stomach. I have no acid in my stomach. And they're giving me something to suppress the acid in my stomach, meaning I can't break down proteins. I can't break down nutrients. I'm not absorbing nutrients. Parasites are getting into my body because there's no stomach acid in there to do anything. I went off of that and actually just added in digestive enzymes and HCl. And I don't have a problem anymore. I don't ever have reflux. I mean, I literally, and you guys got to understand, I had reflux every single day, even after my surgery. It was ridiculous. I'm like, granted, food wasn't coming up my esophagus. That was a bonus, but the reflux was still there. And I had to figure out like the amount that I would need as far as HCl and my digestive enzymes per meal to digest my food. And now even my stomach just doesn't empty as fast as it used to. I mean, I lost part of my stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a smaller deal. Everything shifted and changed for me. So I have to be very cautious as far as like how much proteins I'm eating at night before bed, because I know my stomach isn't going to empty well. And if I go to bed on it with it full like that, that's not going to sit right. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to feel well. So there's a lot. So I give you a lot of education on all of this and help you walk through this. And this is something that Lindsay and I are dealing right now with.
Yeah. And listen, the reason why Suzi tells these stories, right? This is why she went into this and has created these programs and has studied this extensively, because she dealt with a lot of it herself. And so, something that she felt passionate about, and she knew she could help other people. And that's why she's so powerful, because she's had to go through a lot of this stuff on her own. And so, very powerful thing, very, very useful knowledge there. And you get her, as well as the teammates that a lot of them have gone through, mold toxicity and all those different things that she's talking about here, clearing that stuff. And they've all had to deal with that stuff. And so now they're helping other people, and that's a true calling. So I want to wrap this up, and I just want to bring back, you guys, like, so it's going to start January 10th. It's $349. It is for 4 weeks. You get Suzi and Rich and the rest of her team. You get Dr. Drain if needed for, some telemedicine stuff and hormone consults if needed. We've got discounted lab work. You can, you're going to learn how to clear inflammatory reactions, detox, the immune system, and so much more. You're going to get videos that you can watch. And if you don't watch them, then that's on you. You need to watch them. You need to actually get the content that they bring over, and in the meal plans and all those things. Like, you need to take advantage of that stuff and utilize it. And then you get the ability to talk to them, if something does turn and there are some issues there. And so it really, I don't know how better to spend $349. And I think this is a really great Christmas gift. If you still have people that, want to go on a health journey. But I think the biggest thing that I want to leave a lot of people with, and then I'll let you have the last word here, Suze, is, I love that, like, there's a lot of leaders like Jim Rohrer and, Gary Keller and all these people that will always say, if you're not going to take care of your body, where are you going to live? And that really started to hit home for me, you guys. And I started to realize this is a lifestyle change. Yeah, like, I might not be able to go and eat everything everywhere, but like, it's just food, and I can still sit there and enjoy people and have fun. And now I do have things that come back in, and I can handle them, right, a little bit more. But I went down a path that was hard, and that's not everybody's path. And so I want you to know that there are plenty of people that work with Rich and Suzi that lose weight and continue on this program after learning for those 4 weeks, and they're fine. And then there are a number of people that do have some health things. And I think if you're one of those people, you already know that anyways, and you're just ignoring it, right? And so you might need even more help. And then you can go into like a one-on-one with Suzi, and get even more individual help with the, Rich and the team. So very comprehensive packages, very worth your time and your money, in my opinion. But you do need to recognize that it's a lifestyle change.
Yes. And what better thing to give yourself in 2022 is the best you that you can be. We all have these big goals for, resolutions, and bottom line is, if this is the same goal that you've had over and over every single year, and that's the thing, a lot of people, this is the same thing over and over. This year is going to be the year I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. If you're just repeating that same thing and that's the same song and dance in your head, you really need to draw the line in your sand and tell yourself, honestly, where do I want to be 5 years from now? Where do I want to be 10 years from now? Where do I want to be 20 years from now? Is what I'm doing right now going to get me where I want to be then, at my best me? And if it's not, then do something about it.
100%. All right, guys. So it's your chance to sign up. We'll come back and check if there are more questions. I haven't seen any come through, so hopefully we're good there. And there are a number of people that are also doing in the poll. We've got a couple of people that are, you know, here to lose weight, and that's okay. Like I said, that is the main reason why people come here. And so you will, by the way, you'll learn how to lose weight. You may not love it, like detoxing isn't fun, but you'll learn how to lose weight. And PS, it's not by slathering cheese and sour cream on top of everything. So that's my giveaway for you. All right, guys. So Susie, you'll pop back over here and see if people are commenting or whatever, right? And you know, any questions you guys have after watching this, I know people weren't able to join at 10 o'clock, and so you can ask questions. We'll come in here, but sign up. And you know, I will be in there, and a number of other people will be in there supporting you and challenging you. Maybe we'll do it with you. And yeah, thank you, Susie, for everything that you do. Thank you for being the blessing that you are in so many of our lives. And really your job, I always tell you, is the hardest job I've ever seen in my life, because we get angry when somebody is like, hey, this food doesn't work with you. Like, that's like, what do you mean? I eat it all the time. I'm gonna eat it. And you know, it's like we put the blame on Susie. And so I want to remind you guys that every body is individual, and every body is its own little body. And Susie's not evil, but she is trying to help you have an amazing life, which means not hurting anymore, and not having those pains, and not having reflux, and not taking medicines all the time, and all the things that we do instead of just eating right. So
awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Suze. Bye.
Bye.